All right. Hey guys, for those of you that have been watching my skincare videos all along, know that the reason I've been doing the routine that I've been doing is because I have suffered enormous sun damage to my skin over the years. I suffered the burns from the glycolic acid that I used in my mid to late 20s. I suffered from severe chemical burns on my face that took several years for me to heal. And that was all under the advice of an esthetician. And again, I've talked about this in videos, how I have skincare education and background. However, I went a different way. So I didn't get into all of that because as you learn about that stuff and your brain kicks in and you go, why would I ever want to do that shit to my skin? So I went the natural route and I ended up going the holistic route. But I kind of bought into the whole, like, I used to sunbathe a lot. I had a lot of sun damage. I should maybe try these glycolic acids to try to, like, just kind of like mitigate some of that, polish up my skin, whatever. And I tried it. And yeah, I was following the instructions. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I was not overusing it. And it gave me severe chemical burns, which again took a long time for me to heal. It was really bad. Okay. And then my skin was doing okay and never really had any problems with my skin. But as you get older and you've had a lot of sun damage and a lot of other damage to your skin does start to get kind of thicker and it starts to build up, that thicker horny layer. And then wouldn't you know, I end up getting frostbite on my face and it was really bad. And again, it was scary bad. I thought I might even at some point have to have like surgery on my nose because it was really, really bad. But I never ended up getting necrosis and it never ended up getting as bad as I thought it might. But it still did, damage my skin. So I have been doing the routine that I have been doing specifically for that purpose. And I've been sharing it with you guys on YouTube, okay? But now I am going to start pedaling back, all right? And instead of doing more, I'm actually pedaling back to do less. And if you guys, again, have watched my videos talking about zombie cells and Hayflick limit and stuff like that, you know that the more things that you do to your skin, the faster you're actually speeding up the life cycle, okay? And that's not really something you want to do because it's finite. It's finite. It's not infinite, okay? It doesn't go on forever. We have a limited amount of resources. And I know some people will try to like scam you with the whole stem cell thing and all of that, but that gets complicated. I don't have time to talk about it in this video right now because if your machinery is starting to age, the stem cells can't necessarily do a whole lot. Like there's a lot involved here, okay? So not a conversation for today, okay? But anyway, most of everything they're telling people is a scam because they're literally showing you a bullet, just a tiny little piece of a benefit that people want, but they're not showing you how it's truly affecting your skin, your cells, your body, okay? So you got to be careful. They're not motivated to tell you the truth, all right? So now I'm actually pedaling back and I am only using my washcloth when I wear my mineral powder because I don't use foamy cleansers on my face. I don't want any of that crap on my face. So I do use an oil cleanser and it is oil. It is not an oil cleanser that has all these added things to it. It's just straight up oil and I'm using animal fats exclusively on my skin now other than my sunscreen, which does have, this has sunflower and the other one has coconut oil in it, but pretty much just animal fats on my skin. Other than that, and I don't wear mineral powder every day, so I'm not doing the whole thing in the morning anymore, okay? So I'm giving up my morning routine with the washcloth, and because I'm very happy with where my skin is now. I feel like I've kind of retexturized it to the point where it's really, I feel for my age and my background, I feel like my skin is doing really well now and I'm happy with it. and I don't need to keep going. What I need to do is just go to that place right now that just keeps my skin in that sweet spot where I don't want my dead skin cells to build up too much, because again, I am getting older, everything is slowing down, but I don't want to overdo it. And again, I took a couple of years time, and I really just like did it very, very, very slowly. I never did anything aggressive. I never exfoliated to the point where my skin was dry, red, irritated, nothing. My skin barrier has never been even remotely disturbed. I have always done it very gently, okay? And then of course afterwards, I always go in with my animal fats. For the past couple of years, it was a mix of animal fats, plant oils, and just a tiny bit of plant actives. But now I'm down to just straight up animal fats and my sunscreen, my rose water, and again, only using my gentle cloth when I'm removing my mineral powder. Okay, so I feel like I've kind of gone through the phase where I kind of did what I wanted to do, and now I'm just going to set it on kind of cruise control, and I'm going to see where it goes. Again, I am getting older, okay? I'm getting older, I'm aging, and that's going to happen, but I'm not interested in keeping my skin in that constant state of having to keep working like that, because as you get older, your skin starts to slow down, your body starts to slow down for a reason. It's to extend the life of your cells. And if you think you can artificially alter that, again, you'll get the benefit that you want initially, but over time it can really kick your ass. Okay, it's kind of like it's like extreme athletes, right? It's like, yeah, you can look good when you're young and get away with it, but as you get older, it can really, really start to beat you up. Okay, and I've noticed a lot of athletic influencers, people that lift a lot of weights and are extremely quote fit. Notice how they're all pushing HRT and all of the injections, and they're pushing all sorts of stuff because. And they're doing retinols and Botox and everything because they're aging really fast. They look bad. They look really terrible. They look really, really terrible. I look at a lot of the female fitness influencers as well, who are older, in their 50s, or even like 50, even like late 40s, early 50s. They're all doing shit to their face because they're aging really fast. Because when you are super, super physically fit, you oftentimes age faster because it's so demanding and draining on the body. Again, everything is about balance, right? It's about homeostasis and balance. And, the human body is meant for stressors, but hermetic stressors, not constant stress, not heavy bodybuilding. We are not meant to be having punk muscles, and that's not how the human body was designed. So it's excessive. And if you're training too much, again, the body only has so many resources, right? But again, you want to be fit. I work out. I mean, yes, you want to be fit, okay? But I don't push myself to the extremes that I did when I was in my 20s, okay? Because that's crazy. And I used to work out a lot, when I was younger. And, but now that you get older, you gotta be careful, but you want to be fit. So, the problem is that the messages tend to be extreme, right? But the truth is we have to find balance. Yes, it's great to be strong. It's great to be fit. It's great to exercise and do all of that. But there is a fine line between fitness and everyday reality of what is required to be a human, and how strong and fit would we need to be back in the day prior to all these conveniences and easy street living, physically speaking. I don't mean that life is easy. That's not what I mean, but I'm just talking about physically speaking. That is a great baseline of fitness, but our ancestors were not lifting weights in a gym. They weren't pumping iron to have these blown out biceps and these blown out necks and blown out, they weren't doing that. Okay, that extreme muscle hypertrophy requires an enormous amount of resources from the body. I'm not preaching against it. Do you, like, do whatever you want. But I have been really paying attention to the older women fitness influencers, and they're looking old, or they've been all juiced up and doing all sorts of stuff to hide the fact that they are really looking old. Okay, so just putting it out there. Okay, you got to do you, do whatever you want, but remember, you can only rob Peter to pay Paul for so long. Like I said in my other video, a lot of times you're robbing an entire village to pay Paul, and then it becomes you're robbing a whole country to pay Paul. So it's balance. Everything is balance. All right, signing out.